What's up, boys and girls? Our next team preview is the Minnesota Vikings, who are entering 2025 after a 14-3 season, playoff berth at the top of the NFC for most of 2024, and yet they don't have the same quarterback that they used last season, right? That's the first thing we think about when we think about the Minnesota Vikings. We think about the fact that Sam Darnold led this team to I believe a tie with the Lions for the best record in the NFC. They were not the number one seed, but they were still at the very top. A season of constant winning, consistency, a threat possibly, right, for Sam Darnold and Kevin O'Connell, Coach Kevin O'Connell, to continue this legacy, this new team formation. And what did they do in the offseason? They said goodbye, Sam Darnold, which is really interesting. You just don't see those situations, those um, occurrences of letting a quarterback go somewhere else after such a season very often. So the first thing we have to address and think about for the Vikings this season is the aura and the brand of Kevin O'Connell and how much he trusts JJ McCarthy, right? Because if Kevin O'Connell as a coach is going to be challenged, it's going to be this season. Now, he still has a lot of the same, all of the same talent besides Sam Darnold that brought them to a great place last season. Everyone's back, right? It's a very talented roster, both sides of the ball, on the trenches, both sides. But a new quarterback who has never played behind center for a regular season snap is now starting for this program. And the perception of Kevin O'Connell at this point, the brand of Kevin O'Connell, is extremely high, right? Like, you hear analysts talk about it all the time. My buddies, football heads, they love Kevin O'Connell, right? This is one of their favorite, if not their favorite coaches, for the way that he manufactures different versions of his team and leads them to success. I'm not saying I don't like Kevin O'Connell, but if we just take a step back for a second, I wonder if we're overhyping him a little bit at this point, right? 4 seasons in now, Kevin O'Connell as the coach of the Minnesota Vikings. This is what happened. They got beat by Daniel Jones in the playoffs in 2022. That's New York Giants and Daniel Jones, a historically poor offense for pretty much the last decade. 2022 was the one season where the Giants were a little better, but I think they put up 30 plus points on the. I'm a Giants fan, I should know. In the playoffs in 2022, 2023, the Vikings missed the playoffs with Kirk Cousins, a little bit of injury issues there, but can't get it done there. Then last season, the Vikings go 14-3. They make the playoffs, and they get booted. They get walloped by the Rams. Turnover City from Sam Darnold. Mistake City from the Vikings. So, 2 playoff berths in 3 seasons as their head coach with a lot of transitions in their roster, it is a good result. I do like Kevin O'Connell a lot. I think he's a great coach. He's a player's coach, but he clearly has a mastery over how to run a team and sign players, and especially to get an offense and a quarterback going. But this is still a rookie quarterback in the truest form, right? Yeah, sure, he was with the team last season on the sidelines. You got to study the plays and study how everything worked. But it's way different, as we know, when you go from college, and then especially when you take a year off after college and then start in the pros. We don't really know how good JJ McCarthy is. That's the truth. And if Kevin O'Connell trusts him, we automatically want to trust him. Many of us do. I'm not sure if I can get to that point just yet. Let's take a little look at what they did last season. Above average, for sure, in explosivity, explosive plays to some. Slightly above average in production, terrible on fourth downs. Below average running attack, just overall, right? 24th in yards per carry, 19th in yards per game. Slightly above average passing attack, but quarterback sacked far too often. They were 27th in sack rate permitted. last season. So some things to address. Of course, the Vikings were able to really score points when they had to. They wouldn't be 14-3 if they didn't. And they for sure had some great offensive moments, right? Justin Jefferson is a great player. Sam Darnold had a lot of big games. But if you look at it in totality, they were just slightly above average producing yards, but they were absolutely above average in explosive plays, right? So it kind of came in buckets, but not as consistent as one might think. Now they're mainly the same offense as last season, except for the quarterback. Justin Jefferson is a little banged up heading into week 1, but reportedly he's returning to practice, slated for a week 1 start. Oh, yeah, and Jordan Addison is out for 3 weeks to start the season, suspension. Oh, yeah, and left tackle Christian Darrisaw is a little banged up, although he has started practicing. They still have an elite back in Aaron Jones, who was top 10 in all major categories last season. And they also brought in better linemen at the guard and center positions, solidifying a front that could be one of the NFL's best. They have 2 kind of stalwarts on that offensive line. They replaced and swapped out the other 3. I do expect it to be a much more consistent offensive line this season. All 3 of those guys that they brought in, including the center, have very good marks on Pro Football Focus, good history. So that was good moves made by Kevin O'Connell and the coaching staff. Their defense was great at limiting the opposition. Their 19.9 points per game was first in the NFL. Best defense on 4th down and second best defense on 3rd down. The most disciplined defense, first in penalties, second in takeaways. But definitely maybe some luck involved in that turnover margin. We'll get to that in a second here. Their average against the pass, extremely good versus the run, 3rd overall. So really, when you take a look back and you think about this team, you think about Sam Darnold, you think about Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, and this offense, that's automatically what comes to mind, right? Because we think of the touchdowns and the big plays. But really, this defense was a top unit in the NFL and really held this team together. I mean, as far as pure statistics go, right, consistency goes, their defense was the better unit last season, and probably a bigger reason why they had the record that they did and the opportunity that they did in the playoffs. Now, I do really like the additions that they made because they were kind of mid when it comes to sacking the quarterback, 16th overall in sack rate. Really like the additions of Jason Hargrave and Jonathan Allen on their defensive line, especially in that interior. That's really where they needed it, and those guys should be able to bring that. Jason Hargrave coming off a 3-game season with the 49ers, some injuries, some up and down performances, but there's still a lot in the tank for that guy, obviously for Jonathan Allen as well. But, again, I do have to note their 24 interceptions were 5 more than any other defense, and they also had a great fumble luck. They recovered 9 out of 10 of their forced fumbles. So we have to expect some regression from a turnover perspective for pretty much any team, right? Like the Bills are another example that I use when I talk about teams heading into this season, and I went over their team preview, is there's going to be some change in that luck, right? Because at least some part of getting a takeaway, not giving away the ball is luck, right? Just kind of the way the ball bounces or, spatial situations on the field. So you got to expect a little regression there. Doesn't mean this defense is not going to be a top unit, but I do think that some of their fortunate circumstances are going to regress. We can only, it just doesn't happen seasons on end, right? Is what I'm saying. Regardless, their defense was still top 5 in preventing points. They retained all key pieces of their defense and made multiple veteran additions. They did get some good pickups in the draft as well. Jeff Okudah and Isaiah Rodgers at cornerback were also brought in, coming off of down seasons, but an opportunity here with the Vikings with a great unit to kind of, get to the next level of their career once again and show what they once were. Now, their schedule. The NFC North is obviously super tough. I think it is the most talented division in the NFL because even the Bears should make some noise this season. Then they also have to face the NFC East, which is probably up there with one of the hardest divisions as well. and the AFC North, which is also, I mean, if you had to say 1, 2, 3, maybe what the top divisions in the NFL are, you can make that argument. AFC West is in there too, but NFC East, AFC North in their own division, the NFC North, that is going to be a very difficult schedule no matter which way you put it. Chargers are in there too as kind of an outlier team that they're going to face. So there's one of those AFC West teams. So in my opinion, 10 wins, especially off that turnover fortunate season, is going to be really tough to get to for this program. I give them a rating of 78 overall, which is a good team, probably lower than what most people would give this team, especially with Kevin O'Connell at coach, who we just kind of inherently trust at this point, right? What we can't inherently trust is JJ McCarthy, who has looked good. He's looked good in what, 2 preseason games? He's looked good. And the kid seems poised and he can throw a nice ball. He's got some athleticism. There's a lot of positive to note here about JJ McCarthy. That being said, it is still his first season as a pro quarterback. We saw how special Jaden Daniels was last season, and look at how slowly he got started in his rookie campaign, right? It wasn't very good in the first 4 to 5 games. Then we started to see the Jaden Daniels experience show up. So in this league, especially in the divisions that they face this season, JJ McCarthy is not going to have to be good. He's going to have to be exceptional for this team to get to 10 wins. And like I said, Kevin O'Connell is going to be tested big time in his position as a leader of this team. I do have a bet on this team. I gave it out to my top paying clients in July, actually. So it's been a long time coming, this bet. You can click on that at the bottom of this page. You can also subscribe here to Farley Bets either for free. You'll get plenty of intel throughout the NFL season. But if you want every pick of mine throughout the NFL season, please pay as a subscriber and get the full experience. I promise it'll be worth it. Next up is the New England Patriots.